Well, Kermit the Frog sounds a little bit like this, and Kermit might be talking to Stitch, and Stitch sounds a little bit like this, and Stitch is like our Hanneman's family.
Chris, let's start with you. You have worked on so many animated movies, and I'm wondering if you could explain 10 Lives in like the context of other movies we might know. So like is it a little bit Aristocats, a little bit, you know what I mean? Like what's the formula that we might recognize for people who haven't obviously seen 10 Lives?
Well, obviously there's no formula whatsoever.
Yeah.
And while people have likened it to Cats by Andrew Lloyd Webber, it's not that either. No, it's it really just pays homage to a lot of the older Disney movies. I mean, much older Disney movies, like the ones I loved, Bambi, Pinocchio, Snow White, Peter Pan. It has a gentleness about it that is hopefully creating this bubble that we put around the audience and let them really sit and get immersed by the images and the storytelling. And then beyond that, setting out to do that, then the way that the movie evolved with this very emotional story was somewhat of a surprise to me, although I did cry when I finished the script.
Simone and Mo, what are some of your most formative animated films from your childhood? What, like when you think about like what Chris was just explaining, what comes to mind?
Well, Chris's resume.
Yeah.
Like every single Disney movie, Bambi really taught me about life and death, really.
Yeah.
Like the forest being burnt down, and then what happens after life, what happens after death, and it all rises from the ashes. Bambi's like very profound, I think, for children in that sense. But all of the Disney princess movies, Thumbelina. Do you remember Thumbelina?
I did. It was
with
good, yeah.
with the French bird
Yes.
that sings the
I
songs.
think that was a Don Bluth movie, if I remember rightly.
Yeah. Literally every animation. The Sword and the Stone. I loved the owl. All these birds. The owl from the Sword and the Stone.
That's interesting.
Yeah, Archimedes, and he was hilarious with British accent. I went to every single Disneyland. I was very, very lucky. My parents could see how much, animation was instilled in me and how much I loved it growing up. And I think it's really, it's still in me when I'm doing live action work. It could be an adult drama or a comedy or something completely the opposite to a children's animation. But I think they're so intertwined. I think you have to have your imagination alive, whatever you're doing. So I think kids' animations, I guess that was my door into acting.
That's so cool. For me, it's probably Lion King.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm not even trying to name the things you worked on. But
It's okay.
That was one of the first animated films I got to see in the cinema as a kid. And seeing Lion King, because every animal has their personality that matches. So, the hyenas are quite crafty.
Yeah.
Timon and Pumbaa are like a double act who are probably at the most like they're like prey, if anything,
Yeah.
in the safari. So yeah, for me it would be Lion King, probably Toy Story as well, because I think the difference is a lot like Lion King was animals, but I'd never seen toys have a personality. I think as a kid, like every kid, you kind of shut the door and you're like, nothing moves. So yeah.
Did doing voice work come naturally to you guys, or like I've been practicing for this my entire life?
Well, actually, playing Rose, I felt more vulnerable because Chris, was just so amazing at just letting us be ourselves, and that was your main direction, just be you and believe it, live what that character's going through. I would love to do a character one day, with all these different kind of tonalities in their voice, like Stitch. I can do like a Stitch or Chipmunk impression, or like a Kermit the Frog, and something really silly.
I'm gonna put you on the spot and ask if you can do one of those impressions right now.
Well, Kermit the Frog sounds a little bit like this, and Kermit might be talking to Stitch, and Stitch sounds a little bit like this, and Stitch is like our Hanneman's family.
That is a very good Stitch.
So,
You're gonna get another job out of this.
Wow.
but I can.
Do you have to go back to Bridgerton? Can you just?
Well, yeah. I would.
I think you should do that voice in Bridgerton.
Yeah, I think I can see
that would
it. I
change
can
things
see it
up a
work.
little.
Stitch in Victorian.
Yeah, right. At a
That was very good. It's like if you wait your whole life for someone to ask you to do that voice.
Yes,
That's really good.
apparently it's winning when it was someone's side. My dog, we all personify our animals,
Yes.
and my dog is Cartman from South Park. So she's like, "Ma'am, oh my God, like it's like 7 a.m. and you haven't fed me yet." And like, so talk to me like this. She's like, "Ma'am, oh my God, like I need a walk. You haven't taken me for a walk yet."
After 3 years, this is the first time. Brilliant.
Wow. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking. Then Mo, you say something.
What do you really want to do this year? What's a goal of yours?
I think for me, I'm really excited for my friends and family to see this because I've been telling them for about 2 years. I'm playing this cat, and everyone's like, "A cat? Play a cat?" And I'm like, "No, but it's this pampered, crafty cat." So I can't wait to see everyone's reaction to the film, the really loving parts, the sad parts. You know, when I first watched it, and that opening sequence where the cat is being cute and it does that, you're like, and the cat goes like that. It's one of those moments, you know, when you watch a TV program and you smile thinking that you're involved. And I sat there, I was like, and I was like, that's me. That's me. So yeah, I'm looking forward for everyone to seeing 10 Lives. I'm really looking forward to that this year.